going to launch India's @75 as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav on the completion of 75 years of independence. And on such occasion, what better than the historical and cultural monuments that provide the best narrative of India's rich history. Among all the monuments, one name that stalls best, both literally and metaphorically, is Qutub Minar.
The UNESCO World Heritage Site has survived the wrath of time for over 800 years now. The Qutub Complex, which also houses the Alai Darwaza, Kuwaitul Islam Mosque and the Iron Pillar, showcases the coexistence of the architectural heritage and styles of various faiths, sometimes a harmonious blend and a hasty juxtaposition at others. It has been constructed over the ruins of Lal Kot, the citadel of Delhi Ka.
The construction of the Minar began in 1198 BCE by Qutubuddin Aibak, the Mamluk slave commander-in-chief of Muhammad of Ghori and founder of Muslim rule in India. Aibak, who became the first king of Mamluk dynasty, managed to complete just the base of tower before his death in 1211. His son and successor Samsuddin Iltutmish added 3 more stories.
The Qutub Minar has withstood many natural disasters and has been left unshattered mostly. But when the Minar was damaged by lightning in the 14th century, Firoz Shah Tughlaq reconstructed the topmost part, a fine specimen of workmanship in white marble and red sandstone. And later in the 19th century, when the earthquake disturbed the previous reconstruction, then the British officers like Robert Smith and Lord Hardinge undertook the construction work.
Experts say that the Qutub Minar complex marks a departure in the finer points of architecture as it depicts a clear shift from the trabeate form to arcuate, showing how well the indigenous craftspeople adapted to new building styles. One of the engravings on the Minar says Sri Vishwakarma Prasad Rachita, which translates to created with the blessings of Vishwakarma, the Hindu god of construction, reflecting the contribution of local craftspeople.
The Qutub Minar, which tapers out from 14.32 meters at its base to 2.75 meters at the top, with a spiral staircase of 379 steps. There are balconies surrounding each story, supported by stone brackets decorated in a honeycomb design. The first 3 stories are made with red sandstone, while the remaining were constructed using marble and sandstone, with the inscription of the Quran on the cylindrical shaft. There are many edifices around the minaret, which together with the main tower forms the Qutub Minar complex.
The Qutub Minar is inspired by the minaret of Jam in Afghanistan. It is an important example of early Afghan architecture, which later evolved into Indo-Islamic architecture. The exterior walls of Qutub Minar reveal its history of construction with chiseled Parso-Arabic and Nagari character carvings. The inscription clearly describes the motive, way, the time taken, and every minute detail about this monument.
Alai Darwaza is the only entrance remaining of 4 added to the Qutub complex. Located on the southeastern edge of the complex, its elaborate treatment suggests that it may have been used as a gate to the city itself through the extension of the Qutub Mosque. Its wide, shallow dome rests on an octagonal base, and the transition from the octagonal base to a circular dome has been achieved with squinches. The gate stands on a plinth clad with red sandstone with carved friezes. On the south elevation of the gate, steps beginning at the plinth lead into the gate itself. Its exterior is clad with intricately carved red sandstone and white marble bands carved with calligraphic inscriptions in Naqsh script and geometric patterns. In the center springs the gate itself, a true arc ornamented with slender pillars. The gate is bilaterally symmetrical on its south elevation. Flanking the gateway on either side are two small arched windows with delicate lattice work, often called as jali, just above the plinth level.
Above these lower level windows are shallow rectangular niches, again two on either side of the gate, created with concentric bands of red sandstone and white marble carvings. On the eastern and western side, the arrangement of central archway flanked by a jailwork window on the lower level and rectangular niches on the upper level is repeated. In addition to its pleasing symmetry, the Alai Gate is notable for its finely carved surface. On south elevation, patterns range from arabesque to more.
Another notable part of the Qutub Minar complex is the Iron Pillar, which according to Indian history was constructed in the memory of King Chandragupta II. It is famous for the rust-resistant composition of the metal and has been known as a testament to ancient Indian blacksmith skills. At the top of the pillar, there are adorned carvings. Iron Pillar is full of inscriptions carvings on its surface. There is a deep socket known as the base of Iron Pillar, and here state of Lord Garuda is fixed. Inscriptions of this mysterious pillar describe its origin.
The last part of the complex is the Quwwat-e-Islam Mosque, consisting of a closure around a courtyard with the sanctuary to the west, was built from the remains of the demolished Jain and the Hindu temples. In 1198, an arched facade, which is commonly known as a maskara, was built in front to give the building is a Islamic aspect, but its rich floral decoration and corbelled arched are Indian in character.
The prayer hall of the mosque includes 8 arcs. Iltutmish expanded the mosque by adding the 3 arcs, which are more Islamic in nature than those constructed during the period of Qutub. He also built a tomb that was characteristically inspired by the Hindu designs.
Attempted to expand the Quwwat-ul-Islam Mosque, which already had been enlarged in 1230 to 3 times its size, but he was unable to complete the work. All that has survived of it is the Alai Darwaza, a beautiful entrance.
The Minar stands tall, speaking of the glory of the Mughal Empire. It was built to commemorate the triumph of Muslim conquerors over the Hindu rulers, while also serving as a tower from where muezzins call for prayers at the Quwwat-ul-Islam Mosque. It displays the stupefying skills of the craftsmen who brought the Qutub Minar to life. Ibn Battuta, the famous 14th century Moroccan traveller, a judge during the time of Muhammad bin Tughlaq and a caretaker of the complex, was awed by which he called, and I quote, the minaret which has no parallel in the lands of Islam.